Trước hết á thì để cho nó đừng có bị boring đó, với lại mình thức dậy đó, thì trước hết mình hát bài với nhau bài thiền ca ha. Ok, rồi. This song is some of them you maybe know, right? But some may not know. But this song is a very good song. When you sing, it will touch your seat of peacefulness inside you. So let's sing this song, and then we do something next, right? So, breathing in, I go back to the island within myself. Come on, yes, you know. Beautiful streets within the island. There are clear streams of water. There are birds, sunshine and fresh air. Breathing out, I feel safe. I enjoy going back to my island. One more time. Breathing in, I go back to the island within myself. There are beautiful trees within the island. There are clear streams of water. There are birds, sunshine and fresh air. Breathing out, I feel safe. I enjoy going back to my island. Hồi nãy thấy thầy đã cho ngồi thiền rồi. Nhưng mà cái session này đó là everything that I talk about is all practical. So if I don't do something that I teach, then it's not correct, right? So beginning of each of the Dharma session is very good to have the kid sit either for the Oan Vũ, maybe 3 minutes, for Ngành Thiếu, 5 minutes. At least that is what I do with my class. Whether Chánh Thiện, Trung Thiện, whether Ngành Thanh, Bậc Hòa, Bậc Trực. So let's sit together for 5 minutes, right? And so that I don't have to talk more, okay? And I have a timer in here. So everyone will sit and let me see. Okay, good. So the practice of this, for some reason, tư tưởng lớn gặp nhau, right? So hồi nãy thầy let you sit, practice the love meditation, and this one also the love meditation. But in this practice, you don't need to talk inside your head. Right? You just need to be in touch with the deep, peaceful seat inside your body, deep down, and just feel that you feel very calm, you feel very good, and you are very happy, because at this moment we are sitting among our huge big family with a lot of love. There's nothing to worry, besides just be happy with each other, right? So you close your eye, half close your eye. You don't need to close totally if you don't want to, but if you can do it too, right? And be in touch. First of all, think about this thinking here. That means you love yourself. You find peace within you, and just sit for 5 minutes, okay? And I will invite 3 sound the bell. And then after the session ends, will be 2 sound the bell. Right? Okay. And before you sit, don't just lay down like that, right? One of the very good technique that we need to make sure that the kid is aware of is no matter where they sit or do, first of all, the lưng must be, your back must be straight, but not straight like that, straight in a relaxed way. So first of all, relax your body, relax your mind. Just release all the tension within your body, and then sit straight up. You can lean a little bit on the lower part of your back, but don't lean the whole thing, right? Because that is not meditation. That is relax and sleep. right? But when we meditate, our mind needs to be awake and clear because we need to be always actively in touch with ourselves. Sao feel good không? Hay là ngủ? At least cho mấy em ngủ chút xíu, lát nữa thức nghe. Trước hết á thì I'd like to say that I'm very grateful for anh Tuấn, anh trưởng ban dẫn mình tiền khiết, anh phó trưởng ban và ban dẫn mình tiền khiết đã tổ chức this training. So far, I think it's very effective and it's very good, and I think that you all benefit a lot. About all these instructors, and they have a quite experience. And I don't think that you waste your time, your money to come here for this. And I think this format is a step forward for the transformation of Giác tử to the future. And I think that, it's very important, and I really appreciate that. And please give them a big round of applause. Certainly, we don't have any formal speaker, expression, cảm ngữ, nghĩ, cảm từ gì đó. Nhưng mà I have to say that, right? And secondly, I'd like to say that yesterday in one of the panel section, I was very emotional, if somebody noticed it, but the audience is very small. So today I'd like to say it again. I'm really grateful for all the young huynh trưởng, especially I saw so many young huynh trưởng, very young. I know many of you look like only 18 or 19 or something like it, but you come here, with the enthusiasm to learn. I really appreciate that. And I'm grateful that you joined this organization. And please know that we love you a lot, and whatever we do right here, right now, or in the near future, it is all for you and all for our organization, because you are our future. I am, believe me or not, I'm 70 years old now. Can you believe it? And I just retired this month. And actually in my office they say, hey, how can you retire so early? I said, come on, how old I am, I work too late. Certainly, the huynh trưởng like me, and you, he's also retired already a long time ago. We don't get younger, right? So we get older, and then right now, that our nguyên trưởng ban, anh Phúc Thiện and Nguyên Tịnh, right now their sức khỏe is kind of a little bit on the shaking thing. But every day I chant, I always send my energy to them. I love them so much, and sometimes I think about them, I want to cry about whatever they did for our organization. So Therefore, I'm very grateful for young huynh trưởng when you really step up, because this organization. By the way, next year we're gonna celebrate 50 years in the United States, and in about 15 more years we're gonna celebrate 100 years of Giác Hồng Tử on the earth. So that's for you to see how this organization was loved and trusted by everyone. And we have done a lot of things for the young kids. So keep that in mind. Okay, our ideal is for us. Okay, it's one. But more importantly, we give the kids a lot of benefit. We have a lot of them. You never know, right? I can tell many stories how this organization keep me here for 50 years. Next year, I will be in Giác Hồng Tử for 50 years. Okay, so I was in Giác Hồng Tử when I was on Vũ for 2 years. I remember on Vũ Nam for 2 years. At that time, it's about 1960 something, and there's a turmoil within the country. And I remember I followed my father to go protest, and then they have a lựu đạn cay đó. Oh my God! I run with my dad and things like that. But so then I went there for maybe 1 year or 2 years only, and then I never came back. Right? Never come back to Giác Hồng Tử. Everything happened, changed, and I moved away from that temple. But anyway, when I came to the United States in 1976, actually I left Vietnam in 1974, not even 75. So I'm not really one of the boat people. I don't have that experience of boat people. I left Vietnam in 1974 because I got a scholarship in Taiwan to learn specifically about the sugar technology. And that country, and at that time, Taiwan is the country who have the best technology for sugar cane. So the government sent me over there just to take that technology to bring back to Vietnam. So I went there in 1974, but guess what? I learned there for only about a year, and I haven't done anything yet with that technology, and everything just changed. And then I lost my scholarship. Everything is gone, right? And the scholarship is very good in a way that I go to like a private school just to learn. And every day I live in a dorm that have a server, and every day I have 3 meals: breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and have people serving me. And the meal in China, right? 10 dishes at least, right? Every day there's a big fish on the table. I'm serious, okay? And just like a king, go there, learn, because we learn fast track technology, right? But guess what? Everything changed just in one night. I remember that night, the 30th of April. I look at the TV, and then all of a sudden the map of Vietnam, a few days before, right? The red is almost covered the whole map. And then that night I went back from school. I turned on TV. I look at the map, and everything red. I burst out laughing. I burst out crying. I'm serious. I burst out crying together with all of my friends. We hug each other, and we cry, right? And one of my friends at that moment, he went crazy. He just break out the door. And he walked around, and he just like, Mom. But because his dad passed away, and only his mom left behind. So I have to follow him and make sure he's okay. Why I'm crying? When I was crying. Okay, but why I told you this story? Because after that, and then I remember every night my grandmother, she chant the Bát Nhã Tâm Kinh. So I remember those things, and I think that I need to, at this moment, the only thing I can really rely on is Buddhism. So I try to think about what I learned a little bit, and then I practice. And then after that, I have to go to work in Taiwan because I don't know what my future is, right? So I go to work in Taiwan, and they consider me like the slave, because you know how the Chinese think us, right? The Chinese think that we are their slave, seriously. So they treat me very badly. And sometimes I sit in the corner and I cry. I say, oh my God, I'm from a prince, become a beggar, just what eat in one day. But I have to survive, right? So, but then later on, I move up and I can find a better job every day, And then while doing that, I still try to chant and practice Buddhism a little bit so that I can survive. And I become very happy. So one day, actually, it's a quick story. I did go to the Vietnam, whatever, Tòa đại sứ Việt Nam đó, try to get help, but they say that right now, ông Kiểu cannot even help himself. How can I help you? So they chased me away. So I walk over to Tòa đại sứ Mỹ. Guess what? Ông đại sứ đó, he took me in. Because I say that I am the son of one of the soldier. My father is soldier and badly injured. For some reason, he took me in. And he said that, okay, you know what? Right now, thousands of your people on the sea. You on the land. Survive yourself. Go home. No, seriously, that's what he said. And that's it. Okay, so I went home and tried to look for a job. But guess what? A few months later, why I got a very good job, I just got a good job, and the owner told me that, please, you stay here, and then he gave me a very good raise, thing like that. And I went home, I saw a big package, DHL. I opened it up. Guess what happened? Anybody can guess what I have? No, yeah. Actually, the whole package of paperwork and the paper to go to the U.S. and also the ticket. And guess what? Tomorrow, they say that tomorrow, that means that you have to go to Taipei and fly to the U.S. I burst out crying. I didn't know that cái ông tòa sư Mỹ đó, he gave me that kind of thing. I don't know how it happened, but that happened. But anyway, so I told this story. And then after that, I told this story just to tell you one thing. I did use Buddhism to went through all those kind of things to survive and be happy. And then certainly after that, I went to America, and I go to work, go to school at the same time. I don't have that much money, right? I have to go to work, go to school. But I did one day, I went to the temple, Washington D.C. temple, and thầy Đức said that thầy muốn form một gia đình Phật tử over here. So anybody, young man, young woman want to join, go meet thầy. So I come to chùa and just listen to Dharma talk and things like that and tụng kinh. I say, gia đình Phật tử, wow, something familiar. So you see that? The seed inside me wake up. Because I was at one Vũ, one point. And that seed wake me up. I said, gia đình Phật tử, yeah, that's pretty good. Something I remember my huynh trưởng, at the time, I remember anh huynh trưởng của anh đó, he vowed to tự thiêu để mà tranh đấu cái chuyện đó, I remember that. So I said, wow, maybe this is a good one. I need to join. So even though I go to work, go to school at the same time, I go full time, go to school full time, seriously. I still join. Can you believe it? I enjoy. Because I believe that Buddhism is a good practice that can help you to go through your life, bring you happiness, transform your suffering. So I feel like that is something that the kid need to learn. That is what drives me until this day. That's just it. So I share this story in order to inspire you. And I hope that all the good seed inside you about Giác tử will always there. so that all of the young people like you, even if you busy going to college, busy chasing girl or busy chasing boy, right? One day, that good seed will wake up in you, and you will never leave gia Phật tử. Can you do that? That yes? You think that yes is how? No, I am serious, okay? Believe me, gia Phật tử is an organization that can be, first of all, it's very good for you, okay? And certainly the next thing is you can give it back to all of the young kids, the next generation, and you never know that all one seed that can grow. You plant in those little kids can grow inside them, very well. Okay, so let me. So today we talk about the subject of teaching Phật Pháp to kids, right? So Thầy already talked about it. But for us, I try to give it a little bit different perspective. So first of all, let me ask you a question, okay? First of all, I asked the adult people. I mean, the huynh trưởng lớn á, okay? Okay, huynh trưởng lớn trước nha. Okay, em nào nhỏ đừng giơ tay nha. Ai? Hả? Okay, I'm talking about 40 years old and younger. Older. Okay. So, who dạy Phật Pháp in here? Raise your hand. No, raise hai chút xíu. Mình dạy Phật Pháp là something you need to be proud of. Ai dạy Phật Pháp? Right? Okay. Many. Okay, now, the young people from 30 and down. Oh, 40 and down. I mean, no, first of all, 30 to 40. Okay, so, okay, now, 25 and below. I mean, 30 and below. Okay, so basically, well, I just asked the question so that you can wake up here, raise your hand. But, so that means that every one of us really teaching Phật Pháp, right? Okay. So it's obviously in Vietnam, a lot of time, I think in most of the gia Phật tử, mấy thầy cô đó là they teach Phật Pháp cho mấy em a lot. And huynh trưởng only take care of the that thing and go to learn kiên trì, định lực and things like that, right? But over here, we have to dạy Phật Pháp, right? So gia Phật tử, last year in đại hội, we start talking about gia Phật tử is the Bồ Tát đạo, tức là is the path of the Bodhisattva, right? So a lot of sacrifice, and you know what I mean by Bodhisattva, right? So we take the path that we vow to help sentient being to be happy. And to do good thing, right? So that's why we take this path. So every one huynh trưởng in here, as long as you are huynh trưởng, you know that you have to dạy Phật Pháp. You have to teach the kid Buddhism, right? So it's a good thing, right? So in order to do that, first of all, you have to have that kind of thinking like I think. Like, okay, I know Phật Pháp can help me to go through all these difficult times. And actually, in my life, throughout my life so far until now, when I was 70 years old, I went through a lot, believe me. Because, I came to the US by myself and worked myself. And, my mom and dad didn't come until very late. So actually, one of the things that I come to gia Phật tử because I'm lonely. And gia Phật tử is a place I can find friends, right? So gia Phật tử is my family at that time. Not even my second family. It is my only family. Okay? So that's why I do have that kind of inspiration and aspiration to join Nhạc tử. So first of all, in order to teach a Pháp, you have to have that kind of inspiration. You know that Buddhism is something that so helpful for you. You practice mindfulness, you feel good, you feel, you can release your stress, you feel happy, and when you feel suffering, you feel uncomfortable feeling, you use the mindfulness to make you feel better, right? So, and that's why you inspire to teach Phật Pháp, to share that with other people too. And then also, you have to make the vow. I vow to do it. I vow to continue this path of Nhạc tử, even though whatever difficulty I may see, I will vow to do it. So it's the same thing. So believe me, I'm not sure if you really practice Phật Pháp, right? And you share your thought, with people, and they will get a lot of benefit out of it. I have right now I'm retired, but guess what? I still receive phone call, text, and say, Tom, we still can go to lunch. My friend, my vendor, everybody, still do that, because when I go out to lunch with them, a lot of time I talk about Buddhism, and they love it. No, I'm serious. They do love it. They do love it. Okay, so that I think that, and then the next thing is certainly you have to develop the đức, right? Because if you don't have the faith in Buddhism, you will not practice. But how do you do that? How can you have đức, right? In Buddhism, you don't blindly believe, right? If you blindly believe, you are not a true Buddhist. I'm sorry. Okay. So how do you develop your đức? I hope that some of you can answer that question.
So for me, growing up with young Phật tử, you're joining in. You've never experienced what Buddhism is like. You have a family of people who all have this sharing common belief, and learning from others and being inspired has helped me realize this faith of Phật Pháp, and learning and appreciating the values and morals of how to be someone, a better person for myself, a better person for the community, and then that's helped translate as I went to growing up, officially being an adult, and seeing how I want to use this faith to encourage and motivate the younger generation and move on and pass it down, and hopefully preserve, keep it going.
Okay, thank you. I give him a big clap. Yeah. So do you believe faith because Buddhism is good? If I truly practice, I go to Nibbana. No. So who else? Em.
Chào anh Văn Đức Anh, chào quý anh chị. Theo em, how do I develop my faith? Em nghĩ là through trials and errors. Thì tất nhiên là first là mình phải có cái connection, mình in that environment với các quý anh chị và được học Phật Pháp. Nhưng mà sau đó mình em sẽ không dùng từ practice mà em nghĩ là trials and errors hơn. Giống như là Phật có nói là hãy tự thắp đuốc lên và đi gì đó, thì sẽ có những cái mà nó không có thấy không có đúng với cuộc sống của mình bây giờ, nhưng mà không có nghĩa là mình không nó sẽ không có đúng với mình sau này. Thì tất nhiên là sau trials and errors, thấy những cái gì mà mình có thể mình apply được vào cuộc sống của mình á, thì những cái nào mà mình thấy là mình làm được thì bắt đầu từ từ cái faith của cái đức tin của mình á, nó sẽ lớn hơn, và khi nó lại lớn hơn á, thì nó sẽ giúp cho mình hiểu được Phật Pháp nhiều hơn và có thể truyền lại cái Phật Pháp, những cái kinh nghiệm của mình với mọi người khác nhau. Thì với em thì cái trials and errors đó nó quan trọng hơn bây giờ. Cảm ơn.
Thank you em. Okay. Nào bây giờ mấy chị mới được xung xôn á. Give me share some thought. Seriously, just share what you think in your mind. Anh Nghĩa.
Dạ thưa anh, đức tin của em thì đầu tiên at the beginning, like it's changing, right? At the beginning when it comes to the GDPT, I believe in the Buddha, and I believe you can recite the sutra to become a Buddha. But gradually, when you come and learn, like the Buddha said, the Buddhism become experience and learn. So from that point on, you learn, and then you believe in, like later on, believe in the Four Noble Truths, the Eightfold Path, and you believe in the Buddha teaching. So the way that my faith on that one did increase. So over time, that means our belief in the Buddha, the way of life, and then I keep going with that, even though I get away like that. Thank you.
Thank you, Nghĩa. Actually, one of the things that I expect that somebody would say would be that when you practice, right, you get benefit, truly benefit from it. Ở trong đạo Phật á, they call in Vietnamese, they call it nếm pháp vị. Tức là you taste the Dharma, the taste of Dharma. If you good, that means that, say for example, you sit meditation, right? And then you feel very calm, you feel very good. And you walk out in the backyard, you listen to the birds singing, and you look at the flower, everything's so beautiful in front of you. That means you touch the seed of happiness, thanks to meditation. That is what will make you have the faith. That's one of the things that, remember that. Cái chữ pháp vị is very important to remember. And how do you get that? How? Practice. That's it. That's all it is. You have to practice. Like a lot of time in the morning. Right now I retire, so I have more time. So the first thing in the morning I do certainly will be sitting meditation. I set out 1 hour for sitting meditation. And after that, I would go to the park, do some exercise, some yoga and things like that. And usually, I listen to the bird, I look at the scenery, and I feel good about it. I mean, you're so happy, nothing to worry. So that, I just want to say that the key is practice, okay? And once you have that, then you never lack anything. Okay, so you need to practice and things like, certainly, giống như thầy lúc nãy nói đó, you have to do all these things here, okay? And then actually teaching is learning. I mean, all of these Phật Pháp, I learned that I feel like, I have at least knowledge. I'm not saying that I have a good experience, anything. I'm still learning, I'm still practicing. But all of those things I learned from teaching. Imagine, I go to work, right? And my work is very busy, okay? But I still have to prepare my material for my class, Huyền Quang, or go here. This session like here, it takes me 8 hours to come up with this. Can you believe it? So I still do it. But why I do this? I learn a lot. So teaching is learning. So if you want to learn, take the class, and then, but meaning that you don't go to teach PM and then just grab something. You need to spend time and prepare your class material with wholeheartedly doing it with all your heart and your mind, right? And then certainly, when you teach the Pháp, you planting the Buddha seed in my right? And you never believe, right? Just like one time I met one of the một cái em đó, she used to be my thư nữ, right? And I asked, she left Phật tử a couple of years, and I asked her about what's going on, and she told me that, Thành, and at that time it was a winter, and I asked her, what you do in the weekend, stop by and visit us. And she said that vợ chồng em went to, last night we went to we bought a lot of blanket, and we stopped by all those homeless under the bridge and give them the blanket. And she said something, anh Thành biết không? You know why I do that? I remember you told me, you need to develop compassion. And all these things I hear, I learn from mấy anh chị ở trong Phật tử. No, that's truly. So you plant the seed, man. It's very important that you see, just like me, right? I have the seed of Phật tử when I was on Vũ. That's why I'm here today. Otherwise, I may not be here today. And then there are many other stories. And I believe that many of you probably have those kind of stories to share, right? If we have time later on, we can ask you to share, right? So now, I'm talking about Gia Phật tử, right? We have the ideal, and then, I was huynh trưởng for 50 years, right? And on my path, I always think about, giác học tử, you know, how do I do this? How do I organize đoàn, đội chúng, tùm lum hết á. Okay, and then Phật Pháp is something that I consider important, but, you know, maybe not. But when I reach this age, all of a sudden I wake up, I say, the whole purpose of our ancestor is Buddhism, period. Okay? Mấy em như, you know that ở trong Kinh Pháp Hoa đó, in the Lotus Sutra, right, there is one chapter that talk about căn nhà lửa, the burning house, right? Remember that? So what does it say in there? It says that, you know, there's a young kid, right? The family live in a house, right? And then all of a sudden the house got burned, right? So the parent told the kid, come out, get out, get out. But the kid doesn't want to do it because, you know, they still, you know, have fun inside the house. So the parent have to take the game and the thing outside and you the kid outside for them to play, you know, to escape from that and see that. So I imagine, actually when I prepare this slide here, one night I woke up, I say, you know what? Our ancestors applied that rule when they create giác tử. You know, because at that time, the youth group mà popular nhất á, là hướng đạo, right? Boy Scout. So our ancestors think that, okay, at that time, you know, 1940 something, the country is in chaos, right? You know, all of these, you know, giá trị đạo đức, those kind of great value is all gone. So our ancestors Bắc Tâm Minh Golden Time, I think about, okay, we have to get the kid together and teach Buddhism. So, but how you get the kid together? You know, Buddhism is not that easy, right? To learn, right? So he have to make it as a youth organization. Give them some activity like hướng đạo, and then at the same time inject Buddhism. That's how it is. I found that out. You know, when I prepare this lecture. And that means that our goal is really, you know, practice Buddhism. Okay, certainly, you know, we have to do that, Quan Vũ, different level, you know, and Thành, but the focus must be this. And certainly we have to focus on leadership too, because without leadership, we will not have this organization grow out, right? We have to have leader, right? So that means that everything work together very, very nicely. Our ancestors already done, right? So, but actually, Đạo Phật, usually, a lot of people think Đạo Phật is a religion, right? We bow and we cầu an, cầu siêu, and then, you know, maybe lately now, đám cưới, go in there and then make it beautiful, flower, and then things like that. No. Well, that's okay for mấy bác này kia. Nhưng mà with the youth, Đạo Phật is a triết lý sống. It is a philosophy of life, very clearly. Okay, if you know how to live in accordance with the Buddhist teaching, okay, you will have a good life. Do things correctly, do the right thing, bát chánh đạo, tứ diệu đế, everything. That's what it is. So it is a way of life. You know, I share that with a lot of my friends. I like I say, and many of them like to talk to me about Buddhism. And they are Christian. They are what kind of thing. So think of Buddhism as a philosophy of life. You know, I don't want to go deep into this, but certainly, you know, we need to see that angle. And believe me, all the young people, okay, we have to teach them that way. You know, you just imagine if you take young people, go to the temple and they just bow and then, you know, cúng nải chuối, okay, con cúng nải chuối, right? And then just pray that you're gonna đậu bác sĩ, okay? Man, nếu mà mình làm được cái đó là coi như là mình giàu có lắm á, hả? So this is you know, I think I just remind all of us about the path of Buddhism, you know, because as a teacher, that's what we want to do, right? So we would like to transform suffering. The main thing is that, because actually in this life, you know, we don't want to be pessimistic, right? Tức là, you know, but we have to see that truly a lot of uncomfortable feeling. with the young people, I don't just say, oh, suffering, suffering, because that's very pessimistic, right? There's a lot of uncomfortable feeling, a lot of situation that make you unhappy, right? But you need to use Buddhism to transform it. And then the mindfulness, everything else, this is not Buddhist class, so we just mentioned a little bit. And then it certainly can bring you the internal peace and joy and everything else. When you practice, especially you practice mindfulness, it can do that for you. And then you cultivate your understanding, compassion, along the way, right? So, and then certainly, we're gonna help others to have peace and joy. And this is really greatly in line with our mục đích của Giang Tử, right? So we train the young people to live in accordance with Buddhist teaching. And the next step, so two points. The first point is for us, and the second point is to transform the society, meaning that we help others. So if we practice very well, right? First of all, the one who benefit first of all will be our loved one. Our children, if you have children, our father, mother, husband, wife, friends, you bring happiness to them. And then, and certainly as a huynh trưởng, in order to teach, Thầy already said that, right? You need to really dig into it, learn it, with your heart and mind, and practice it. And I have to stress the point that thực tập chánh niệm, because believe me, mindfulness practice, this is, we have a many branch of Buddhism, right? Mahayana, Theravada, Hayana, and then Kim Cương Thừa là cái gì quên, Vajrayana gì đó. Sorry. But tất cả những cái đó, tất cả những cái branch of Buddhism đó, tất cả đều cùng một điểm, đó là thực tập chánh niệm. Believe me, okay? And then thực tập chánh niệm, practicing mindfulness become the mainstream in America. If you search Google, Grok, or whatever it is, you're gonna hit a million hit. And everybody now recognize that chánh niệm is something that can help you a lot. And you know that they have trong cái trường Harvard đó, they have một cái center của Thích Nhân Hạnh Center là mainly là để thực tập chánh niệm để mà in order to help people to improve their health and go through tất cả những after they recover from injury or mental health, anything, they use chánh niệm, right? So that's why practice mindfulness is something that you as a huynh trưởng need to practice, and also use that practice to teach our kid, right? And we can do more about it later. Okay, so these are main things. So you need to look deeply inward to understand yourself. All right. So when you meditate, when you practice mindfulness, you have to clear out inside you, so you can see yourself. You can understand yourself. Believe me or not, the more you practice meditation, the more you practice mindfulness, you will see yourself. Why you get angry, why you misunderstand people. That happened to me a lot, seriously. A lot of time, I misunderstand my wife a lot. Sometimes she take care of me, but she a little bit too caring and too detailed. And sometimes I feel like, I don't have freedom. But when I practice a lot and I start seeing that all come out from love, then everything just happy. So it's really help us to see ourselves, right? So, and then also when you practice mindfulness meditation, you start seeing things around, understand things around more. You understand the people around you more. That is, believe me, that happened, and I do have that kind of experience. And a lot of time, seriously, when I'm close to somebody, a lot, talk to them and feel, sometimes I can feel that people, those people. Okay, so like I say, one of the things we need to do is give them 3 to 5 minutes mindfulness practice, or tĩnh tâm. The benefit of it will be, certainly, we don't want to go through what mindfulness is, right? This class is not for that. But we need to help them with the self-awareness, help with the focus, and help them to be calm, and have joy and happiness, and less stress, compassion feelings, understand others. So all of these things are the benefit of it. That's why we know that, our kids will have this. Certainly before they have that, we have this kind of benefit. Right? So no matter how busy you are in life, try to set out the time. I believe that you have 16 hours a day, right? Maybe, minus 8 hours sleep. 16 hours a day. Can you set out 15 minutes for meditation or mindfulness, walking? I mean, if you don't have, you need to sit. You can practice walking meditation. I used to do that, and actually, I swim every day, 5 days a week for 40 minutes. That's why I look like. Okay, but when I swim, only me and water. So I always practice mindfulness when I swim. That's very true, and. And I feel very good after I swim because of that, So you can practice mindfulness in everything you do. Đi chợ, đi búa cũng được nữa. If you go by yourself, just pay attention to what you do. That is a practice meditation. I'm serious. If you don't have time to sit, that's how you do it. Okay. Okay. So experience. So certainly you will have. My God, so time flies so fast. So you need to really understand your audience, right? So a lot of time you can look at your audience and the face can tell you something, and you know that Thầy Hạnh, a lot of time he talked. After the Dharma talk, somebody come up and say, oh wow, he talked to me. He talked to me. You know why? Because truly the connection between human being is amazingly very true, that we have connection. So this is what they call emotional intelligence. I talk about this like it's not in regular class that we teach, like a half hour Phật pháp cho anh Vũ hay là 40 minutes Phật pháp cho ngài Thành. It's not like this, but I'm talking about like today, we have một lớp Phật pháp cho một audience như vậy, hay là a Dharma talk, basically just Dharma talk. You stand and then you look through the audience and you feel them, to see how they react, to the topic and things like that, so that you can connect. Sometimes, you may want to talk about something, but then you want to talk about something else. That can happen. Okay, but you need to avoid the specific terminology. Like, if you go in and you say Vietnamese, tứ diệu đế là khổ tập diệt đạo. How can mấy đứa nhỏ hiểu đấy? Hay là có chữ như là dukkha rồi maduna gì đó. Thì try to avoid those things for the kids. Use the simple language that they understand. And nowadays I think that with a lot of English book, if you do some research, you will find it, right? And then certainly, you need to make sure that all the language are suitable for the kid. Later on, I will share something. But like đối với anh Vũ, thì sometimes I do teach anh Vũ a little bit, and I will try to use a term, the example that really, really down to earth, very simple to understand, and the instruction, the way that anh Vũ, you put yourself as a kid, and then transfer that. That's how it works. Đối với ngành Thiếu thì khác, mà đối với ngành Thanh thì khác. Like last week, I just teach bậc trực, and then I teach them about kinh Phật Đức. So I talk to them about how they feel about tri túc, right? So we discussed about it. The guy asked me, anh Thành, should I consider học 6 năm instead of 4 years? Okay, thì we discussed about it on his level, something like that, right? Okay, so all of these I just put that up here just to remind us, right? Now, but the key thing is relatable and engaging, right? When we teach Phật Pháp, because you know why? Buddhism is something that practical. You have to use Buddhism. There's a lot of example. I mean, not example, but analogy, right? They say that, okay, say for example, if you come to a party, right, and on the table there's so much good food, this is a very good pizza, smells so good. Okay, but if you don't eat it, right, no matter what, you won't feel it, right? You will not see it, right? Say for example, this glass of orange juice is perfectly mixed. It's not very sweet, it's not very sour, but only until you take the sip of it do you understand how good it is, right? So the same thing for Buddhism, right? So in other words, you have to practice, and then you need to really talk to them in their language, in their situation, right? So sometimes in the Buddhist class, I may ask the question like, okay, for example, I say, when I teach the Four Noble Truths, right, the practice I give them is, okay, the first noble truth is uncomfortable feeling. Usually I say suffering is something, but I say that usually you have an uncomfortable feeling, you feel unhappy about something you don't get. That is most of the time the kid get that kind of problem. They don't have problem like us, thất tình hay là bồ bỏ gì hay là bị lose job or something like that. But they want to go past 12 o'clock, but the mom and dad say no. Or, they want to have a new iPhone, they don't have it. So I ask them, give me an example of your uncomfortable feeling, right? So they give me something. And I say, okay, how do you practice the second noble truth to see the root cause of it? So that you can get out your uncomfortable feeling. So that is relatable. Okay, engaging, you talk to them, you ask them the question. Okay, and something that really, truly matter to them. Something that matter to them. Okay, so when we teach a Pháp, that is how you can make them interest, and they want to learn more and learn more, right? Sometimes I take them a session, I don't teach anything. I just take them to go walking meditation with me. I say, okay, you stuck with me for this half hour, right? So you have to practice walking meditation with me. So don't waste your time by thinking about something else. Just practice. And then sit down and talk to them. How do you feel today? How do you feel about it? Do you see the blue sky? Did you hear the sound of the birds singing? Okay, then they share. So that means that you need to engage. Engage, make them feel good, right? And then sometimes you can still use a picture or the tool related to the topic. I think that one of the things that Thầy Giác Hạnh, I love his teaching, and it's not because he's my teacher, right? But he always use something that very poetic, very real. For example, this piece of paper, right? This is a piece of paper you can throw away without even think, half second about it, right? It's something very simple, doesn't cost anything. But do you know that? The whole world is in here. Right? I don't need to say it, right? Everybody know it, right? In order to have this piece of paper. It's not like, simple, right? Just take one element of this piece of paper. The tree. Wow. Only the tree. How many elements to cause it, right? So not talking about the engineer who who design the paper plan, the water and the logger, everything else to create this paper. So, sometimes you need to do it. And then I remember Thầy Giác Hạnh, one time he talks about life and death, things like that, and he used cái bật lửa, all right, and then he light the candle and ask the question. Something that you can use, like for An Vũ, one time I give him a practice. I give him 2 pieces of raisin, right? One piece I say, okay, mấy em, okay, eat it. Okay, eat it the way you eat it, right? So they eat the piece of raisin. And then later on, I say, okay, now, this one right here, I want you to take time, choose it for at least 1 or 2 minutes, and then swallow it and feel it, and tell me. Very simple, but we teach them what? Practice mindfulness, right? After they eat, they say, oh, that's sweet, they like that, right? So that is what we use, right? And then we can use a jar with a lot of glitter on that, and then swirl it up, and then let it sit, right? Sit for a while, and then tell them, pay attention, right? So the glitter, after swirling around, it's settled. And what happened, ma'am? So when you try to sit 3 minutes of calmness, your mind will be calm, just like that. And when it gets calm, okay, so when the glitter go out, right, you don't see anything through, right? But when the glitter settle, you see through. That's how you see your mind. So the kid, they like it. So, those kind of things is very important, right? So, and then this is just some example. The teaching of life and death, right? Đối với Thầy Giác Hạnh đó, a cloud never died. This statement is very famous after Thầy passed away, right? So just read that, and you see that the analogy is very beautiful. When we pass away, do we still remain or not, right? Actually, we just transform, right? Just like the cloud transformed to water. And then guess what? Water, when you go to the river, and it break up the cloud. So this is talking about the cycle of life. But see how he make it so easy to understand. Right? Anybody understand this, right? So do you believe, do we have one life to live? Who believe that we have one life to live? Good for you. Who believe that you have an infinite life to live? You still cannot raise your hand? I ask one again. Who believe that you have an infinite life to live? Infinite, sorry. Infinite. Sorry. Who believe you have infinite life to live? If you don't raise your hand, you don't understand Buddhism. Yes. Infinite life to live. Right? Okay, but this is not Buddhist class, so I cannot spend time to explain that. But the cloud never died. It's very real. Right? Believe me, okay? I use this piece of paper again. Who can tell me how I can destroy this piece of paper forever? It will never come back. No way. Even if you burn this piece of paper, it becomes what? The heat and the ash. And the ash, after I put it back to the cái gốc cây đó, where does it go? It goes back to the tree and go back again. And then it just do that infinitely. That's how it is. So, and this one right here, again, I have 50 minutes, right? Enlightenment is when a wave realizes it's the ocean. It's the same thing, right? I don't want to smell. Okay, so I need to go through this real quickly. Must include practical lesson, bring benefit to real life, right? Mình nói rồi. Okay, and then you need to have your own experience. So when you share your own experience, là your practice. Just like I just share my own experience, about whatever it is. Okay, and then I just talk about already. You need to savoring the taste of Dharma. Nếm pháp vị. You have to do that. In order to do that, you have to practice once again. If you attain the nếm pháp vị already, là believe me, you have no way to come back. You have no way back. You will always go there. So you need to get to at least to that state. You know, you don't need to go anything special. Like me, every morning after I meditate, I go to backyard, I feel the birds singing, and when I practice meditation, I feel good. Or, you know, when I solve my problem with my mindfulness, I feel good. That is the name of it. And then suddenly you need to tell a story. Okay, so interactive and creative activity. I just give some example, right? And then actually, you know, you can play game too, right? Yeah, I thought that some of you guys maybe fall asleep. I can play game, but you know we don't have much time to play game now. But I want to share with you one game that you can play with the kid. Say for example, you remember cái game mà gì đó? Cua kẹp á, right? Bây giờ mình không có nói cua kẹp, mà mình sẽ nói là catch your emotion, right? Bây giờ right now we can play the game, right? You can do that, and I say, okay, I'm gonna tell you a story. Whenever I say something that I stress the word, and then if that word is something happy, then you don't need to do it. But if it is something that bad emotion, you need to catch it. And if you fail, then you'll be fat, something like that, right? Say for example, so okay, well, you know what? Today I just got my iPhone and I feel very happy. However, my goodness, I took the phone out of my store, and all of a sudden it dropped on the floor. No, that's not emotion. See that? It dropped on the floor. It dropped on the floor, and I feel so sad. That's it. No. And after I feel so sad, I practice Buddhism a little bit. I take a deep breath, and I feel so calm. But then, all of a sudden, my daddy just shot me. How can you drop the phone? Oh, I feel so upset. That's it. Okay, that's it. That's kind of game I just want to suggest to you. You know, you can do something like that, right? And you can invent that, right? You know, something like that, right? And then, you know, open discussion and questions. I already talked about it, right? So that means you interact with them and talk and think that. Encourage self-discovery, meaning that I used to challenge the kid that I teach to go home and do the homework. Like, you know, write for me something about the discourse of happiness, tức là kinh phước đức á. You know, take some of them out there and write to me about how you practice in your life. So that means that we help them to encourage the self-discovery for themselves. Only that, once again, they can see the benefit of Buddhism, and they can want to learn more and more and more. And certainly one of the things that I really talk about this many times is thiền ca. You know, we need to really practice it so that, because why thiền ca? It gives you a very good seat inside you. And believe me, that good seat stay there, and when time comes, it will come up and help you. You know, that happened to me many times. A lot of times I feel sad, feel down because something, that seat come up and help me. So, okay, so as far as tài liệu, okay, imagine cái tài liệu mà mình có đó, mà ngay cả bây giờ băng dẫn mình vẫn còn dùng đó, bài học trong đó đó, có nhiều bài học trong đó, dĩ nhiên mình đổi cũng khá nhiều rồi. We changed a lot, but many of them was prepared in 1950. Can you believe it? Time changed so much, and we still can use it. Believe me, those kind of things will not work in this era with these young kids anymore. Believe me, it's so, ở trong tiếng Việt gọi là từ chương, không biết tiếng Anh là gì. Nó so much, yeah, chữ nghĩa nhiều quá, thành ra you know, thành ra mình phải soạn lại. Okay, now I retire, so one of my first project, I hope that I can initiate that. We'll be looking at that, and at least you know, I will not try to change much or thing, but I'm thinking that I will put our project and start preparing những cái tài liệu mới đó mà based on những cái gì mới nhất, những cái gì new. I hope that I can form the team, but right now, you know what I focus on? 50 years. I have to advertise this because if you miss it, you're going to be very sorry. Okay, next year, the 8th of June, next year, okay, guys, we meet in California. Okay, you can use a PowerPoint, right? Okay, these are the things that I used to look at in order to teach my kids. I never use cái tài liệu của gia Phật tử anymore. Okay, when I teach, I use these tài liệu here. But I will share later on a lot, okay? Something like that. And there are a lot of good sample practice in these tài liệu. Believe me, I read it already. I took out some of the tài liệu. Certainly, I will go to this and the team will go through this in order to come up with something. But that will be a big project. I hope that I say it and I can do it. Okay, and then anh Tâm Ân also told me that, anh Thành, nghe có một số người nói là the way you prepare your PowerPoint is very attractive and very good. So share some of the thing. So, you can notice the way I prepare. Everything simple. Không có nhiều chữ nghĩa như ông nãy ông nói đó. Not so many chữ nghĩa, okay? So, just make it simple. And the message is short and straightforward. You already learned that, right? Okay, so, and then I used to put up a lot of bài học using that, just one simple slide. Say, for example, this one right here, this is my favorite. You can see up there, the water is flowing, right? Nothing you can see. However, when everything settles, your mind settles, you can see the reflection. It's the same thing. So, just one slide and one big practice lesson. Right? You don't need to say a word, but the lesson is right there. Impact the audience right away. Just some example, right? And then Tùy duyên thần pháp, right? Following the condition in harmony with the Dharma. I like this a lot. Every time I got a problem, cái này là câu mantra, my mantra. Every time I got a problem, I got a fighting, I got argument, and I feel unhappy, I use this. Actually, this is a very good one. I think that the young huynh trưởng, you understand this, right? So just one example. The water. Okay, this means that you don't really try to control things. Certainly you try to control. I mean, in this world you live, you have to control, you have to prepare, you have to make sure that you do the right thing, for your career, for your work, for your friend, your relationship. Everything you must plan, do well, do right, do right thing, right? However, a lot of time things happen, it's not according to your plan. So if that's the case, just live as a water. The water, they never plan their path, but they can go through the crack, they can go under, they can go above in order to go to the sea. So the same thing. Cái chữ tùy duyên phận pháp này đó, following condition in accordance with the Dharma, in harmony with the Dharma. Exactly, that's what the word is. So when things come, okay, that is the condition. Maybe it challenge you, but that is the condition that you can accept. But you still try to do the best under situation, right? Just like I share real quickly my story. I used to be like the chief engineer of one of the E&C company, right? Everything's so good. I love my position. I love my friend there. I worked there for 20 years. And then all of a sudden, the company got sold to another company, right? So supposedly they're going to still keep me the chief engineer for that department. And then the other guy will work under me because he got only 8 years experience, while I have 20 years, something like that. But my boss come to me and say, Tom, sorry. They said that they bought us, so the other guy will be a boss. So I'm fine with that. Okay, I'm fine with that. Okay, as long as you don't cut my salary. I know. Okay. But then the boss acting up. So I feel so upset, right? So I feel, God, very, very upset. Bực mình lắm. Nhưng mà thanks to that, I applied a job. I got the job that I always want, always dream of, but never think I can get. Let me go to Chevron. Anyway, so Okay, so no more time. Anyway, so okay, that's okay. Then thank you very much for listening.
Chúng em xin thành thật cảm ơn anh trưởng ban hướng dẫn trung ương đã chia sẻ cho chúng em những cái kỷ niệm của anh và những cái bài học mà nó mong rằng huynh trưởng trẻ và huynh trưởng lớn nữa chúng ta có thể mang về để áp dụng cho cái thay đổi cái phương pháp mình hướng dẫn đàn em của mình. Thì khi nào anh lên nói chuyện là cũng always you talk from the heart, yeah, from your heart, thì em rất là appreciate. Thì cũng không có gì, chỉ món quà nhỏ nhỏ để chúng em xin gửi tặng đến anh. Nhưng mà trước khi mà gửi quà thì em cũng có xin một cái comment là sau chiều nay thì thấy đơn vị Huyền Quang ở đây vắng mặt vài người cũng biết ha. Em ra đi á. Oh, ok. Không dám ngồi lên trước, ngồi phía sau. Ok, rồi, thank you.
Cảm ơn.